Good evening. This is Celia Rollins, and I'm here to do our presentation on wholesale sourcing. Hope everybody's safe and sound. My partner Norman may or may not be joining me later, but we're going to move on. Okay, here we go. Whoop. So, this is a little bit about us. This is my bio. And this is Norman's bio. I'm a married mom of two, proud grandmother of three, retired teacher, now eCom entrepreneur. And I love online ARB and wholesale, and of course, customer care. And now we're sharing how to shop your way to retirement. Norman will be joining us later, probably. It's a good buddy. Okay, so tonight's agenda, this is the overview. We're going to talk about what is wholesale. We're going to cover the pros and cons. We're going to cover some wholesale terms. We're going to talk a little bit about required documents to open wholesale accounts. We're going to cover a few key points to remember, ways to source for products, examples, wholesale suppliers, my favorite grocery category. And if we have time, we'll get to reverse sourcing. Next week will be wholesale drop shipping and the review. Okay. So wholesale, what is wholesale? And basically is when you purchase products in large quantities at a discounted price. You can negotiate your price once you get to the large quantities. Pros and cons. Pros, of course, you save money. You can build a network of suppliers. You become the expert for your niche. You build from an existing demand. You can expand with ease. Cons, what I really don't call cons, but challenges, of course, you can conquer, is your initial investment and finding good suppliers. Wholesale terms. These are just a few terms that you'll come across once you start researching on how to sell wholesale products. You'll hear the term manufacturer, and most of the time, the manufacturer, of course, is the creator of the product or the brand owner of the product. You have the distributor, that's the person who's licensed to distribute the product to the consumer or the retailer or other wholesalers. Of course, you have retail, you have the what they call MOQ, that's the minimum order quantity, that's what that stands for. And you may come across an acronym MSB, that's the minimum selling price. So those are just a few terms that you will hear when you're working on wholesale. Now, there are a few things that you must have to open a wholesale account. And of course, number one is you need to have your business structure set up. We have an LLC. There are a few other options, but I think LLC is the best option for your business structure. Number two, you need to get your EIN number. And of course, you can go through that with the IRS. Three, you need your resale certificate. And of course, that's done by your states. Sometimes they do say different terms for it, but it is a resale certificate. And they give you an actual number that you can use. So when it's come times to do your taxes, you'll have that certificate number. Four, of course, you have to have a separate business checking account with the card. And five, you need a website and an email that's separate so that, especially the email, because you're going to be contacting wholesalers. They're going to be sending you information. So you want to keep track of all that contact info in one place. Key points to remember. This is just two things that I really want to say now before we really get into the meat. Number one, you don't need to open 100 wholesale accounts to start. You can start with 3 to 5 accounts and build a consistent ordering relationship with them, and then you can add on. I think that's the best way to start. Start with a small amount and just build your way up. And the second key point is to get to know the company reps and see how they can help meet your goals and be open to what they share with you. And that'll become more apparent once you start contacting wholesalers because a lot of them will give you a specific person that you can work with. And they can really give you a lot of tips and pointers when you're ordering your products. You can get discounts and things like that. So now we have here 7 ways to source for wholesale products. And I'll just do a snippet of each one of them. But we talked about 7 ways that we can source for wholesale products. And the first one, of course, is pretty simple. Is the back of the product labels. A lot of times when you're in the stores and you pick up a product, a good thing to do is to turn it over. Look at the back of the label and see who the manufacturer or the brand owner, see whose name is on there. And a lot of times the name is there. It'll show the city and state where they're located. Sometimes it may even have the website. So that's one way to source. Of course, is Google search. You have your trade show websites. You have Google Maps. You have the brand websites. You can subscribe to paid monthly wholesale list services. And of course, we have reverse sourcing. And I'll talk a little bit about each one. So the first one is to look on the back label of your products. This is an example of an actual product that we do sell. This is blackberry syrup. The company is called Blackberry Patch. They're located in Thomasville, Georgia. And I found this product when I was in Marshall's, shopping in Marshall's, looking at the syrups. Of course, I used my phone, scanned it, and saw that it was actually selling on Amazon and selling pretty good. So, of course, I grabbed what I could then, but it sold so fast, I decided, you know what, let me just look up the company. So I went to blackberrypatch.com, looked at the website, and started from there. Contacted them, set up my account, and I've been selling it ever since. So that's one way. A second way is to do a Google search. Now, this Google search is a little bit different. I got this tip from a nice little source where you're looking on Google search, but it's in your local area for wholesalers that are near you. And you'll get a list. This is really short, but they give you a whole list. You know how Google search is. You get a whole list, the location, the phone number, and you can just work that list to get other resources for wholesale. You can also click and look at the websites too. 3 is to check the trade show websites, the vendors list. So 2 sources that we like to use is one is called 10times.com. That's a site that you can go to and look at all the trade shows that are listed that are going on in different areas, in different cities, different states. Well, of course, now, the trade shows, everything is limited with COVID-19, but they have virtual trade shows. So now they're online. So that's even better. You can click, get the information, go to those sites and get details about the vendors that are participating in those trade shows. Another source we use is wholesalecentral.com. And that's just another way where you can, again, search for trade shows that are in different areas. And once again, you go to those sites They have a vendors list, and they have them by categories. You can search and get information that way too. It's another way. This one is Google Maps. Now, this is a way that you can use on your phone. You know, you have the Google Maps app, and when you open it, you can actually search for wholesalers that way. That's just another option. You can click and look through that way too. You can find some locally. Then you have the brand websites. And this is just an example of jellybelly.com. Once you go to those sites, you would scroll down and see if they actually have a wholesale option. And if they do, you would click and just read through. And a lot of sites now, um, it's to the point where you don't even have to call a lot of times at first. You can go right from the website. You can fill in all of your information if you have your business info there. And a lot of times they'll approve you immediately if you have everything there. So it's a little bit easier now. So that's the brand websites. Another way to source for wholesale, this is who we use, is to subscribe to paid monthly wholesale supplier lists. And our group uses Sean Mayo's list. And he has them. It's a great resource. Of course, it's not free. It is paid, but it's worth it. Saves you a lot of time when it comes to searching. You still have to validate the products, but all that information, all that information is there. Um, you get the contact information, you get the actual items, everything is right there. And he has different categories. He has grocery, he has toys, he has household, almost at least 10, 15 categories he has available as a wholesale list that you can purchase. And of course, we all know Sean Mayo's great resource, and we use them. And seven, of course, is reverse sourcing. This is another favorite of mine. I don't do it as much, but we'll talk a little bit more about this next week. But that's when you're actually on Amazon and you see products that are already selling. You would click on the actual link, and they would actually take you to the brand owner's information, and you would just go to their Google website from there. And it's just reverse sourcing where you're looking at the product first. You already see that it's validated, it's already selling. You just go to the source and get the information that way. And that's called reverse sourcing. Okay. Okay, so next we're going to go on just a few examples of some wholesale supplier websites. Just to look at a few. This was my very first contact for wholesale. This is called burtonandburton.com, and they have all kind of coffee mugs, stuffed animals, Christmas trinkets, all kind of holiday balloons. They have a lot of items, and they're actually listed on Amazon. You can see their products already there. That's how I found my first coffee mugs that I started selling. And the website looks just like this. And at the top, you can actually see where you can register to become an wholesaler. Of course, they have information that you have to have that I covered earlier already, but you can go right to their website, fill in the information, and go from there. They'll approve you within 24 hours. That's Burton and Burton. Another one that we use is Blair Candy. Candy is just a great item to source for wholesale anyway, any time of the year. But of course, especially now with October, November, December, January, fourth quarter. And you can see on the site, it's talking about Christmas candy. And, we can run the gamut on the candy canes. They have all kind of candy canes, different flavors, but you can get them in gross amounts. Once you see that they're selling, you can order them right from Blair Candy. Of course, once you go through their approval, and you see wholesale is an option right there. A great resource right here. We use them too. BlairCandy.com. Another one of my favorites is HotSauceHarrys.com. First of all, the hot sauce is delicious, but they offer multiple options as a wholesaler. Multiple options, period. They have wholesale. You can move into private label, and they have drop ship now. That's another option we'll be talking about next week. But Hot Sauce Harry's is a great resource. And any of these, you can already see them already selling on Amazon, a whole host of products. Okay. And I talked about some of the wholesale suppliers that we use. This is just a few of them. Blair Candy, Hot Sauce Harry's. I tried to show a few different categories. The grocery category, health and beauty, essential wholesale. That's a great site. Maui Bath. Toys, of course, is very popular right now. You have EE Distribution, BBCW. I think Sherpa is another one. And you have Burton and Burton and Enesco. Those are like gifts. And they also have nice little gift bundles that's already put together for you that you can sell wholesale and put them on Amazon and make some nice gift bundles. So those are some suppliers. And I just want to briefly talk about the grocery category. This is one of my favorite categories. A lot of items that I sell is grocery because it's a great replen. A lot of times when people run out of anything edible and it's good, they have to order some more. Especially now during this pandemic, that was one of the categories that really wasn't restricted when Amazon first started locking down things that you could sell. Grocery was a major category that the sales were just jumping. People were ordering stuff so fast you couldn't hardly keep up. We had to do I just went blank. Not merchant. We did merchant fulfilled. Sorry, we were doing merchant fulfilled because we couldn't get the items in FBA in time because the grocery category was just so huge and so vast, and the velocity was unbelievable. So I just wanted to mention that when it comes to grocery, I know it's a little different now because a lot of the items are restricted, but we have ways in our group where um, you can go through the process and get approved. We have some sources, some sites that you can use that are real easy that'll help you get approved in the grocery category. So I just wanted to mention that a little bit because grocery is an excellent category to sell in. You can do your multi-packs, of course, can kill it in bundles. Oh my goodness. Bundles and especially now is excellent, especially your holiday bundles, your Christmas bundles with your Christmas coffees. And we just come out of this pumpkin spice craze, which is just still flying off the shelves. You got your peppermint mocha that's going to come up next. That's another category in groceries that's really hot right now. And then you can also move into private label opportunities a little easier. Well, for me anyway, with grocery. So I just wanted to talk about the grocery category. Of course, you have to watch your expiration dates. And I know now you have to put that outside of the packages, but you know that's 6 months out. But That's easy. You just plan accordingly for your products when you're ordering. I do. I know we have retail ARB, of course, but I do a lot of online ARB. So I really have to watch my expiration dates when I'm ordering because I like to a year. I like finding products where the items you got a good 12 months, and that gives you a lot of leeway when you're selling groceries. So your dried foods, your coffees, your teas, your cereals are excellent items to look for wholesale suppliers for because your expiration dates, you get a good 12 months. Some of them out 14, 16 months, especially those dried foods. So the grocery category is an excellent category. Of course, all of them are good, but I'm just a little partial to grocery. It's work for me. Um, okay, this is a little early, but some of the items here that we talked about, I'm going to talk about reverse sourcing just a little bit while we have some time. I know this was Norman's part, but I want to cover that a little bit if it's on here. So we talked about what is wholesale. We talked about pros and cons. We talked about the wholesale terms. We talked about the required documents to open your wholesale account. We covered our key points to remember, ways to source. We gave you 7 ways to source. We showed you some examples. We talked to just a few wholesale suppliers. We'll have more in part 2. And I talked about the grocery category. For our reverse sourcing, I just want to say something a little bit. I'm just going to leave the page here. When we do reverse sourcing, let me see if I can share my screen. When you do reverse sourcing, this is just easier. Reverse sourcing is just when you're on Amazon. When you're on Amazon, okay, okay, good. When you're on Amazon, and I'm just going to type in Christmas candy. I'm just going to go for keyword set this on the hot right now. Christmas candy. And you see what comes up. Your chocolates, meltables is prime time to send those in. You have your candy canes. So you would just scroll down and look at the items. This is Hershey Kisses. And Hershey is not on Amazon. Let me just back up a little bit. On my Amazon, I have a few tools. These are just things that'll help you when you're doing reverse sourcing. I have a few tools on my browser, my Google Chrome browser. So as I'm scrolling and you see like these things here at the bottom, this is one of the tools that we use. We'll talk about this some more next week, but this is one of the tools that we use so that you can get a snapshot of the BSR, the rank, the ASIN, whether or not the item is sold by Amazon versus you have your FBA sellers. So as you're scrolling and you're looking at these items, like you see, chocolate is jumping because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6 of the items is chocolate. And again, this is a good time to send that in because the multiple season is over. So they'll be safe. Your hard candies. This right here was very popular. This is a gimme. Do you see this item here? This is a Dollar Tree item. Washbourne's old-fashioned hard candy is an item that we used to source every single fourth quarter. You can do this as one item. Look at the variation viewer. You can sell it as 2, 3, multi-pack, 1 can. This is a great item to sell. Hard candy is it's a good seller. And we got this from Dollar Tree, dollartree.com. You can see the rank. I'm sorry, I'm gonna back up again. This is another tool we'll talk about next week. This is a paid tool, but again, I'm always looking at tools when I do my reverse sourcing, looking for products that'll give me a snapshot of what's going on with the item when I'm searching. And this tool is called RevSeller. So that's 2 tools already that I've showed you. The first one is called, DS Amazon Quick View, and this one is called RevSeller. DS Amazon Quick View is free. RevSeller is paid, but again, I like to use tools to give me the information. So you see the rank right here, whether it's the top 1, 2, or 3%, that's here. You can see the price. Once you put in the price, I'm just going to put $1 because I know that's what it costs. And you can see your net profit here. You can see your ROI. You can see your profit margin. RevSeller gives you all of that right here for this one product. So you already see that it's validated. You just have to go find the source. And I already told you what their source was, Dollar Tree. And Dollar General used to have it too. I don't know if they still have it. And if you want to go deeper, the brand is right here. Washburn Candy Corp. Okay, so that's 3 different ways that you can get the item. But again, this tool here validates that the item is already selling. It has a good rank. It has a great BSR. You can see the velocity, how fast it's selling. So that's just how we use reverse sourcing to actually find products to sell on Amazon. It's just a snippet of that. So I'm going to go back to my screen. Where am I? Over here, and here, and here. Okay, stop. No. Sorry. Oh, God. Okay. So that's just a little bit about reverse sourcing. Okay, so we talked about 9 items this evening. I didn't want to hold you too long. I'm going to check to see if we have any questions about wholesale. This is wholesale part 1. Next week, we'll cover part 2. And we'll go deeper into reverse sourcing, wholesale drop shipping too. We had some questions about that. Okay, so Nicole, do we have any questions?
Let me check in the group just a second.
Okay. And if anybody has questions for when we come for part 2 next week, just put it in the group or put it under the recording. And Norman and I will try to cover that next week for you. Okay. Good. Over here. Let me look down here. Any questions? Escape. Nope.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, no questions right now. So Celia, thank you so much.
no problem. Thank you.
All
Good
right.
night.